driveway to the right of the front gates. Our apartment was above my dad's administrative office and looked out over both Parliament Street and the foregrounds of the property nearest the chapel. We'd lived there since before I had memories, when my dad decided a cemetery was the only place he could be, not willing to really live, but unable to die because he was all I had. My father, Thomas Blight, was the chief crematory operator at Winterson Cemetery, one of the oldest in the city. I spent a lot of time with him wandering the gravel walkways that divided the graves into silent suburban developments. But even if we had lived in a cramped condominium, where he might try to make up for the lack of a mother with handcrafted dollhouses and bright pink walls like other single dads, even if we'd somehow managed to purchase one of the $1 million Cabbagetown homes down the street with a shared driveway, even then I would have chosen to tag after him to the dusty buildings that made up the defunct older chapel and burning chambers. By the time I was 9, I knew 2 things for certain. 1, people have all kinds of quiet reactions when you tell them you have dead people in your lawn. And 2, cemeteries make people want to have sex. The first time I saw people doing it, I was 6 years old. I was sitting on a slab of marble inside a mausoleum eating Lucky Charms out of a Tupperware container. I was still young, so my hair hadn't darkened up to the deep brown it is now, and was still dirty blonde. I had a similar haircut to the one I wear now, though. A blunt cut bob that came to my shoulders, with straight bangs. Only, back then, I wore it all pushed back with a plastic headband. And it had a lot more tangles and random debris in it than now. Sometimes, more than now. The Morrison tomb was barrel-vaulted and crumbling, like an igloo molded from a scoop of damp sand. I'd snuck in to eat beside Morrison Meow, the bones of a cat in a shoebox coffin snuck in a few years ago. As far as anyone could tell, there was no family relation between the pet and the actual tomb owners. The cat being here was an act of sentimental vandalism that my dad refused to report, owing to his weakness for both loss and underdogs. Not only did he leave the cat inside, the box shut with brown parcel wrap, the sharpied inscription reading, "Meow he rest in peace," but he also forgot to repair the broken lock, of which I took full advantage. I used that tomb as a clubhouse from the age of about 5 until I turned 12, when our groundskeeper Floyd fixed the lock. I was macabre in that way only motherless children can be. That morning, the cemetery was full of mourners from Mrs. Batelli's funeral. I was inside the tomb, eating and drawing distracted lines on the sandy floor, corralling ants with my toes, when I saw a man with his pants down around his calves repeatedly pulling himself up on a woman who was bent over a grave, her dress hiked up around her waist, one floppy tit hanging over the stone in front. I was still 7 years away from even my first real kiss, but it made my stomach hitch up with something like dread, that feeling you get after you do something terrible and are waiting for punishment. That horrible, exciting feeling. I crept to the window and watched. And then I was caught. Sort of. The man looked up and turned his head towards the mausoleum. We locked eyes, my mouth so full that milk dribbled out over my bottom lip like smoke. "Holy shit!" He jumped, detaching himself, and then yanked up his good pleated pants. "What the hell, Joey? What's wrong?" I ducked, but their voices carried through the cracked walls like spearmint gum-scented wind. "A little kid! I swear to God, a little freaking kid! Over there!" "Oh my God, are you serious?" "Yeah, I'm serious. Do I look like I'm joking?" "Where'd it go?" "Jesus, Joey, which kid was it? Was it one of Diana's?" "In there, in that little shed." The woman paused in her arrangement of nylons and panties and sighed. "Joey, for real? That's a goddamn crypt. There's no kids in there unless they're dead." "No, Angela, I swear, I saw it. It had these creepy eyes looking straight at me, and its mouth was all, I don't know, messed up. Scared my boner away." "Oh, real classy." She fumbled with her clothes and straightened the mass of ironed curls on top of her head. When she spoke again, it was in a gentler tone. "Let's just go catch up with everyone else. I'm sure it's just your nerves. This is your ma's funeral, after all." "But I swear, I saw it." "Come on. It must have been a bird." Her maternal tones were squeezed shallow around a wad of gum. When I looked up again, the girl was leading him in the direction of the parking lot, slightly wobbly.